Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today I'm sharing an advent calendar DIY using the items shown here that come from random stores. If you're interested in where anything particular came from, you can check the link below. There's a video where I hauled all the decor items that I was going to use for this year. So getting started with the first set of items that I'm going to be using, starting with this printable star here that I got off of the internet. I'm just going to cut that out and use this cardstock material for the base of that. And then I need this to be doubled, so I'm folding it in half and I'm going to trace out the shape of the stars going all the way around. I started out using the paper as my stencil, but it wasn't thick enough, so I traced that onto a piece of cardboard and then I used that as the stencil. And I traced out 24 stars for a total of 48 because I'm going to glue two of the pieces together. So here I'm cutting out one of the stars and this is how it looks. I'm going to be using the gold side. And this is the final one. I'm keeping the pieces together so when I glue them together they'll be almost perfectly lined up. So here is the stack that I'm using. I'll just take care of these little scraps here and move along to the gluing process. So I'm just gluing this bottom border as you see here, making these 4 lines and then connecting the pieces together like so, and making sure they're completely lined up as much as possible, and then moving on to the next ones. And again, as you see, I'm just gluing 2 of the little star beams and connecting it and keeping those at the bottom. So that's going to be the bottom of each star. And then these were all complete. So of course I have 24 of these. And now I'm going to use a hole puncher and I'm just punching a hole in the top. So the 4 lines that I glued are at the bottom and the opening is where I'm putting the hole puncher. And now I'm going back and numbering these 1 through 24. And I'm putting the numbers in this same corner in the bottom. And I did go back over these with the marker again because it was a little bit dull. And now I'm just going to be hanging these on this stick, and I'm using this string to hold everything together. I tied that up and placed it on the wall, and now I'm using string to cut pieces off so that I can attach the numbers. And here I'm starting with number 1, and this one's going to be pretty short, so I'm just showing how I'm going to tie that one up. And then I'm going to put a few embellishments on. So for the 2, I'm just adding this wooden bead. And I'm going to randomly place the beads so that they're not on all of them. And then I'm going to go back and add some greenery later. So I do want it to be a little bit random. And then going to the next row, I'm just doing, as you see, a staggered pattern here. And moving on to the next row. I have them all placed now. So some have the wooden beads and I'm using this greenery here. I'm taking these pieces off and I'm gluing 2 pieces together and then attaching certain ones to the stars. No particular order, just placing them where I think they should go, and then I'm using the greenery from this tree and I cut little pieces and I'm gluing those to whatever stars were left over. And this is how it looks. And the next thing I'm going to focus on is the stick. So I do want to cover up the strings at the top, and I'm going to use, I just strung together the last bit of leaves from that greenery piece, and they already had holes in them, so I just used the needle and now I'm just arranging it at the top to kind of hide the strings and the knots at the top. and just moving these around on the string to my liking. And now I'm just gonna add some wooden beads to the top part of this. I want to make it kind of look like a circle. I didn't have a circular piece of wood, so I'm just gonna tie these around and make a little loop at the top for this to hang. And then I'll place that back on the hook. And then I'm printing out the activities that are going to go inside each of these stars. So of course I have 24. I did double 2 of them, but I'm cutting those into strips. So I actually have 22 activities, but I have 2 of the same activity because I thought it was a great one. So I will list those in the description box below in case you're interested in some ideas of what you can put in your advent calendar. So to put these in the stars the way I wanted, I did have to shorten these little strips down so when I fold them, they fit just right, so there's just enough of the paper sticking out of the star to grab without completely tearing up the calendar. So this is the folding process that I used, and this is the final calendar before I place the activities in. So these are all the activities, and they're randomly sorted. I have no particular order. I wanted it to be like a fun game to see what's in each one. So I'm just sliding those into the little pockets with just enough of the paper sticking out to pull it out and to see which ones are left. And this is the completed advent calendar. So I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And if this is inspiration for you, I hope that you are able to make something yourself, or just hope that you enjoyed watching this process. And again, I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.